Hello, everyone, and happy Easter. I thought we could celebrate Easter today by making a fun little Easter bunny page together. So, I don't know about in your country, but in our country here in South Africa, Easter is a very long public holiday weekend. I think we've got like Friday off and then the Monday off. It's just a very long weekend, which is lovely. It gives us lots of time to have Easter eggs. So today I decided I'm going to make an Easter bunny. So I'm just kind of drawing just from what's in my head. I don't have a reference picture, so I'm just kind of sketching out a bunny shape. And I'm giving her kind of realistic eyes, so not really bunny eyes. I gave her a little floppy ear there. And then I'm just going to take some paints and I'm going to try and mix a little bit of a grayish color. Now that gray color that I had there was actually perfect. And then I went and add pink for some reason. I don't know if I wanted to try and make the gray warmer. Maybe I just wanted to try and see what would happen if I added some pink in there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't love it, but I'm going to keep going on because I know that this is just the first layer of my bunny. And in the end, I really, really like the way she turned out. So before I continued with the gray on the face, I decided to do the ears and the feet. For some reason, I made one arm pink. I don't know what was happening. But anyway, I added a little touch of black to that paint and then just finished the arms with a gray color. And then I added some white to that paint and I'm doing the face. And then I realized I was going to go over my lines and I wouldn't be able to see them because obviously I've mixed black into that paint. So I quickly drew out the nose and eyes and the little mouth. And I'm just painting around all of that. And I'm also filling in the ears. So you'll notice this bunny looks a little bit creepy at the moment. And it's because I don't have the eyes in yet. And I'm going to keep the eyes out for a little while longer. I found actually while I was doing this page, every time I kind of looked at it, because obviously when I'm painting, I'm looking at the patch where I'm painting. And every time I scan over my page, I got this like fright because the eyes were not there. But eventually I do put them in. I like to put the eyes in a little bit later just because then I won't risk going over what I've done in the eyes. So I'm not going to smudge anything. When I was done with that gray color, I quickly did draw in the little toe beans on the feet. And I added some blue. This is heaven, I think. And I just added a little bit of blue over everything. I'm keeping my brush strokes kind of painterly and loose. I want this bunny to look sketchy and painterly. I don't want it to be a perfectly smooth little bun. I've mixed, you'll see that I keep mixing a little bit darker color here and there, and then I go in a little bit lighter. I've added some shadowing by the ears, and then I actually mixed a little bit of neon pink with white, and I just went over the pink areas that I did there. And I really, really like that color. So when I put that in, I thought, okay, now it's coming together. Okay, so I've got the base color down, and then I decided I'm going to work on the background first. Once I've got my background done, I will go back to the rabbit or the bunny, and then I will complete the details and bring it all together. So I've mixed a little bit of mermaid into the heaven paint that was left on my palette. I've put some punk out, which is Marlene's neon purple, and I blended that with white to make this beautiful purple pastel color. And where I'm joining colors together, I'm actually just going over the next door color with some mark making. So I've put the purple down, and then I extended that purple in the form of mark making over the blue areas. I did the same color mixing with white and the neon orange, and again extending that color out with my mark making, and I'm doing the same with the neon green. Oh, I love this green when it's mixed with white, so pretty. And basically I'm just continuing the process. So right at the bottom here, I'm not too fussed about what's happening there. I'm obviously filling in the color, and I am going to do a little bit of mark making with stencils and whatever there, but I knew that I was going to cover over that with a bunch of Easter eggs and flowers. So giving that base layer a dry, and I'm making sure that it's quite dry before I go in with my next step, which is doing some reductive stenciling or ghosting stenciling. And for this step, I'm actually going in with the neon colors straight from the tube. I'm putting paint down with my finger, and then I'm lifting it with a baby wipe through that stencil. And I'm also kind of trying to finish whatever I have mixed there on my palette, just to make sure I'm not wasting too much paint. Over the orangey peachy bits, I went in with hot pink. For some reason, I wiped that away. I think I had a dirty stencil and that, or dirty wet wipe, and the color wasn't quite true. So I just quickly wiped that away while it was wet. And then over the blue areas, I'm going in with Heaven, and I'm doing the same. And again, just drying it out, drying it off. Now I'm going in with white, and I'm just adding a little bit more brightness and white space. And where I've done the white, I'm also going to extend that white area with a little bit of mark making, just here and there. And you'll see each layer just builds and builds, and eventually it comes, you know, the more layers I put on, the more it's coming together for me. And also when I'm doing the mark making, I'm going over the top of the other colors. So I'm not keeping just to one color in one area. So when I did that white, I actually did go over the green and the purple mark making as well. Okay, I did this off camera because it took ages. I've gone into Marlene's Paper Elements book, grabbed out a whole bunch of eggs and flowers and leaves, and then I also stamped out a couple more leaves onto some green collage paper, and I did cut everything out first before I hit record again. I also went around all of the eggs and all of the flowers and the leaves with my alcohol ink marker, just to define them a little bit. So just around the edges, I think I might have done one on screen. I don't know, we'll see. And I didn't do black this time. This time I went in and I used the dark blue and the dark pink alcohol markers that I've got. As you can see, she looks much better now that she's got some eyes. I've drawn in the feet, her toe beans, and I'm just adding some detail back in with my paint pen. Just going all around her face and her body, her ears, and here and there I'm smudging, like in the ears, I did smudge some darker pink to make a little bit more of a shadowy bit, and I'm smudging some pink paint pen onto her cheeks as well. And I'm just going to add a little bit of coloring pencil. So I'm darkening up the eyes with blue. I'm darkening up some of the shadowy bits with just a couple of different gray colors. And I think I do pink as well, probably because you know how much I love pink. You know, just kind of shading where I would normally shade a human face. So I would normally shade kind of under the eyes and by the hairline. So for that would be the bottom of the ears, under the chin. I went in with a little bit of blue on the paws, on her little arm, paw, hand things, but I didn't like that, so I just rubbed that away with an eraser and darkening up some of the pink bits. Okay, now I'm going to start putting down my eggs. Oh yeah, this is where I outline them all, but I did pause it. You won't have to watch me do that. And some of my eggs are going to be propped up with some foam tape. And I paused the video here and I just did the ones on tape first before I start gluing the rest down, because the tape is so tedious. I don't want you to sit there watching me for ages and ages gluing down tape. And I'm sticking the rest of my little eggies down with Marlene's sticky glue. And because I've got those eggs propped up, they're quite easy to just tuck in underneath each other and create a lot of interest and depth. Same with the flowers. I do add some foam tape to some of the flowers, and then I tuck in the rest of them underneath the eggs and underneath the flowers, and then I'll go in and add the leaves as well. And when I put the leaves down, that's when I thought, okay, now it's coming together. I really, really liked when I added the leaves, and I particularly liked these two that I put at the top there to kind of make a curve inward, so your eye is automatically drawn to that bunny face. So I used almost all of the bits that I pulled out in the beginning. I think there were 2 flowers that I didn't use. And I'm also cutting some of them in half and just putting them right on the edge of the page. And it just makes everything look like they're coming together nicely. Okay, so the big purple rose is the only one that I did not use. Now I'm just mixing up some punk paint, so that's Marlene's neon purple one. And I'm using that as a shadow color just underneath all those bits and pieces. This just does create an extra little bit of depth. And I think I may have gone around the bunny as well, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, I went around the bunny and I'm smudging out here and there. And I think I also went around the bunny with my Stabilo All pencil, so there's like layers of shadow, so it's not just the purple, but the black will just add a little bit more depth. And it's not around the whole bunny. I'm just doing it here and there where I imagine the shadows would naturally be. And I'm just blending that out and dabbing it off with a wet wipe if I need to, if I feel like it's a little bit heavy-handed. And look how cute. I really like that little bunny page. Let me know what you have been doing for your Easter. Let me know what your country does. Do you do public holidays? How does it work by you? And also, actually, I would love to hear where you guys are all from, especially the regular commenters. Thank you for commenting, by the way. I really love reading your comments. But I would love to get to know you more. So please let me know where you are from. Yeah, I think it would be interesting to know where in the world my videos end up. I'm finishing off with just a little bit of black and white, so white highlights here and there, smudging it out with my finger, and I'm outlining some of the bits, not all of it again, just with a paint pen. And then I did decide to add a little mouth for her, or a tongue sticking out, and a heart on her cheek. I did try doing some stars and things in her ears, but it didn't quite work out so well for me. Did not like that. And then this page doesn't have a quote, but I found some fun words in pink in Marlene's sticky quote book. And it's like art, magic, miracle, love, maybe courage or so, just like little single words that I thought was really cute. And I just kind of hid them in between the Easter eggs, so they are kind of like a Easter egg hunt as well. So you can look for words and hunt for them. Punching the holes and just trimming off the excess, and then she will go back into my book. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful Easter, and I hope you ate lots and lots of eggs and Easter eggs, not real eggs. And I will chat to you again very soon. Bye.